Hello my beautiful beading friends. Welcome to Misty Moon Designs. My name's Louisa. Well, it's that time again. It's time to open up one of my favorite bead boxes, Didi's Deluxe Bead Box for the month of July. And you know how I feel about that box. I absolutely love it. And I know you're going to love it as well. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I'll leave some information down below along with a link to the website and a coupon code in case you're interested. And as a bonus, we're going to make this very quick and easy project with the contents of the box. Now, if you want to skip the unboxing and jump straight into the project, you can always click on the timestamps down below in the description section of this video. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced jewelry maker, hopefully you'll enjoy making these very cute pair of earrings with me. And I can't wait to show you the collection and how to make this project, so let's get started. And here we have Didi's Deluxe Bead Box for the month of July. It's not a subscription, it's a limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. And let me tell you guys, they do sell out quickly. Now the July box is already sold out, unfortunately, but I wanted to show it to you anyway, so you can see what comes in these boxes. The new editions are usually available to purchase on the 12th of each month for the following month. Like I said, on a first come, first served basis. And if you don't want to miss out, I recommend that you join their Facebook VIP group so you can stay informed about their new releases. Plus you get to see what other people make with these collections. And that's always a lot of fun. And I'm not joking, guys, when I tell you this is one of my favorite boxes. And that's because they do such a great job of curating the colors and the beads and everything. They don't just randomly pick a bunch of beads and throw them in the box. And that's enough talking. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it looks like the name of this box is Fiery Azure. And here are the contents. It looks like they crossed this one out. They must have had trouble getting it on time, but that's okay. I really should check my email to see if there are any updates. I've neglected to do that. And I actually have not been on Facebook either. So they may have made some kind of announcement on there. But anyway, down here are all the addresses, the Facebook group address, the Didi's Beads online shop, and down here is a direct link to the box itself. And what pretty colors these are. Look at this. Very elegant colors. And look at this. That's so pretty. Let me get organized and I'm going to take a quick peek at their Facebook group page to see if there's any updates on that listing. And then we'll go through each of these items. So here are all the strands. And I did go to the Facebook group page to see if there are any updates on that listing. And I didn't see any. So it's either a typo or maybe they just couldn't get the strands on time. But anyway, it doesn't bother me because look at all these beautiful beads, guys. There's a total of 6 strands in this month's box, and half of them are gemstones. And I forgot to mention, these boxes sell for around $29, and that's US dollars, and it all depends on the exchange rate. I know they have a fixed Canadian rate, but since the exchange rate fluctuates, it's probably going to be a little different each month in US dollars. Currently, the cost is $29.89 in US dollars, so that's a pretty good deal, considering what you get. But anyway, look at how they curated these beautiful colors. I love the shades of blue and the reds. That's why they're calling it Fiery Azure. Let's take a look at this one. This is one of my favorite strands. It's called the Inspired by Czech Designer strand. And obviously they're all Czech beads. So we have a bronze colored bead at the end, faceted. Then we have this tulip bead with some kind of a wash. It looks like a bronze wash. Then we have this red one. It's a rondelle, as you can see. Then we have a metal spacer bead right there. A red faceted bead. This beautiful flower bead in this blue color. The finish looks kind of silky, really nice. This very unusual looking bead with a swirl pattern. How unique is that? And then we have a bead cap in a bronze color. And then we have this gorgeous rose bead in the center. And it has some kind of a wash as well. And then on the left is a repeat of what's on the right. This is such a gorgeous strand. I absolutely love it. It's an unusual palette, but it's absolutely stunning. Very nice. And let's take a look at this one. These are listed as irregular shape red coral nuggets. I like to put it on my hand like this because sometimes the camera doesn't focus when there's something below. But anyway, they're irregular and they measure anywhere between 8 and 12 millimeters. And the red is a very pleasant shade of red. It's not really bright, but it's very pretty nonetheless. And of course there's variations because it's a gemstone. I really like this one as well. I like all of them actually, to be honest. And look at this one. These are nuggets as well, but they're larger obviously. They measure between 12 and 14 millimeters and they're jade nuggets. And the color is dark azure blue. It's a very dark shade of blue, very, very dark, but I'm sure if you take it outside in the sunlight, you could probably see the blue. It's hard to see with these camera lights. But anyway, hopefully you can see it. Really nice. Let's take a look at these. These are also gemstones. They're listed as aquamarine gemstones and they measure 6 millimeters. And this is a very long strand. It's 15 inches long. How beautiful are these? They're so luscious looking, aren't they? I love that shade of blue. It's a very soft shade of blue. And of course it matches the blue of these beads here and these as well. Very nice. And here we have some sparkly crystals. These are faceted rondelles. They measure 6 by 4 millimeters and they're electroplated. And the color is opaque cerulean, but the plating is only on one side, on half the bead as you can see, and the other half doesn't have it. I love that effect. It makes a piece look so interesting. And there's a lot here too. This strand measures 15 inches. Let's take a look at these. Now, interestingly, I didn't see these in the list of contents. So I think that's what happened because these are 4 millimeters in size, but they're not the burnt orange pear-shaped crystals. They're smooth rounds as you can see. So this must be the replacement. And I really can't give you much information about the color or anything because it's not listed, but you can see that they have a very gorgeous blue and green effect, kind of metallic. But anyway, they're definitely 4 millimeters in size. And I'm pretty sure the length of the strand is what's listed in the insert, which is 17 inches. Very nice. So anyway, I think I solved the mystery. They couldn't get the 4 millimeter faceted burnt orange pear-shaped crystals, and instead they're offering this strand here. And of course, they're not going to cross out and handwrite the details on every single insert. I don't blame them. That's a huge job. So anyway, let me get the rest of the items. Here are the rest of the items. As you can see, we have a huge variety of things. We have tiny beads. We have more flower beads. We have these interesting shaped leaf beads. And of course, this gorgeous pendant and then some metal components down there. There's lots of variety in this box, so it's going to be easy to design something. And by the way, in addition to today's project, I'll be making something else with the contents of this month's box. So I want you to be on the lookout for that video. But look at these darling teardrop shaped beads. They're so small. They measure 3 by 4 millimeters. Let me slide some on my rod so you can see how they're drilled. And here are some of them. Hopefully the camera is focusing. They're so tiny. Sometimes when the beads are small like this, the camera doesn't focus. As you can see, there's a large variety in this mix. Some beads are lighter, some are darker, some are opaque, and some are transparent. And as far as the colors, they do range in color as well. Some are pink, some are red, and I'm even seeing some gold or amber. These are so pretty. I'm going to have so much fun with these. They have a lot of sparkle, as you can see. And I really don't know how many there are, but there's a lot, as you can see right there. Let me show you these now. I have 5 of them here. There's a total of 10. These are check flower beads. They measure 8 millimeters in size. And the color is coral red with a gold wash. Very, very nice. And they're definitely opaque, as you can see. I love this size. And I love that they've included some botanical themed beads in this month's box. Very nice. Now these are very interesting looking. Let me put them on a dish. Sometimes you can see the color better when it's on a white background. These are simply listed as leaves, glass leaves. And I really don't know the length, it's not listed, but they look like maybe 30 millimeters in length and maybe 12 millimeters across. And there are 2 kinds, as you can see. We have champagne and we have AB blue crystal. And the shape is very interesting as well. They're rounded on that side and concave on this side. And hopefully you can see where they're drilled. They're drilled across the top from front to back. Very nice. Let's take a look at this beautiful pendant. Look at that. It is stunning. It's enameled and the metal is stainless steel, so that's nice. Look at that. It's very high quality, you can tell. Anyway, it's listed as a 4-leaf pendant and it measures 40 millimeters across. And I don't think it includes the loop. I love it. And here we have some links. These always come in handy. There's a total of 6, so that's nice. They're listed as embossed flower links in an antique bronze color and they measure 10 millimeters across. I don't think that includes the loops. Let's take a look at the back. They're smooth in the back. Very, very pretty. These are very nice as well. As you can see, there's a total of 5. These are called carved oval flower spacer beads in an antique bronze color, and they measure 10 by 6 millimeters. Aren't these adorable? Look at that flower design. It's so pretty. I love it. It's almost the same flower design that's on these links. Very similar. I love this collection. I really do. I'm never disappointed with Didi's Deluxe bead boxes. And here are some toggle clasps. Very unique looking. I've never seen this kind before. I love that effect. It looks like rings that are interlocked, but obviously they're not. They're the same on both sides as well. They're listed as double ring toggle clasps. I don't know the measurements, but these look about 10 millimeters across, and the length of the bar is obviously longer. I like that they included clasps, so that's going to inspire me to make a bracelet. But not today, obviously. Today's project is very quick and easy. So now I'd like to arrange everything on my table so we can take a look at the whole collection, and then we'll jump into today's project. Well, here's the whole collection, a very thoughtfully curated bead collection, which as a jewelry maker, guys, I really do appreciate that. I love when they curate things so beautifully. But anyway, like I said earlier, I love the combination of the soft blues and the fiery reds. And of course, we have this dark blue strand up there as well for a little contrast. The combination of the rounds and the faceted crystals and the nuggets, which add an organic element, makes this collection incredibly versatile. And of course, I appreciate that they added some tiny beads as well. These and these as well. Plus the metal components are really going to make it super easy to design something. And as far as standout pieces, of course, I've got to say, I love the designer strand. It's one of my favorites. And I love this gorgeous pendant as well. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing. If you have some time, I'd love to hear your opinion. If you could leave some comments down below, I'd really appreciate that. And now that we've taken a quick look at the contents, let's jump into today's tutorial. Here are the materials for the earrings. As you can see, I've already made one. Now I'll have to warn you, they're easy to make but a little bit fiddly because of the dainty chain. So if you don't like fiddly projects, you may want to think about using something else besides dainty chain. For example, you could just have these little tiny dangles hanging off a jump ring. But anyway, I think it's well worth it because look how cute these are. So as you can see, I have the tiny crystal drops. I have the link. Now this rondelle came in the designer strand and so did the spacer bead. And here's the 6mm aquamarine bead. Of course, I have an ear wire hook, a 4mm jump ring, and then I have these very tiny ball head pins. I believe they're 15mm in length, but I've noticed there's a little bit of variation. Some are shorter than others. For example, you can see this one's much shorter than that one. But anyway, I think I got them on Amazon quite a long time ago, and I actually purchased them by mistake. I didn't realize they were so small, so they've been sitting in my storage, and I haven't had a chance to use them until now. Now I am going to do simple loops because these beads are very tiny, so I'm not concerned about the strength of these ball head pins. Of course, if you wanted to do wrap loops, you'd need something longer than this. Now the chain that I'm going to be using is dainty chain, like I mentioned, and I believe these links are 1.5 by 1.5 millimeters. I'm not sure. I'll double check and I'll leave the measurements down below in the description section before I publish the video. So the first thing we're going to do is to mount these beads on the ball head pins. Let me just remove this earring for the time being and these items as well, because if I don't, sometimes the camera doesn't focus. It tries to focus on what's on the mat instead. And by the way, please don't come after me about my nails because unfortunately I got an effect which is a type of chrome effect. It's actually a powder application on top of powder dip, and unfortunately it comes off very easily. So if you're a jewelry maker, I don't recommend this type of nail polish. But anyway, you'll have to excuse my nails. I am going to get them done this weekend and I'll probably shorten them as well. So let me go ahead and show you how to mount one of these. Like I said, it's pretty fiddly. Very, very fiddly. I'm simply going to slide it onto my little tiny ball head pin, like that, using my flat nose pliers. And by the way, these are called tapered flat nose pliers. The tips are about 2 millimeters wide, which is why I like using them. I'm going to grab the pin right above the bead, leaving a little bit of space because you want to make sure the bead doesn't crack when you go to bend your pin. Bend it. And this one's actually super long, so I'm going to snip off just the tip. Using round nose pliers, I'm going to grab the end of the pin at the narrow part of my barrels, like this. Whoops. Let me try that again. And now I'm going to form a loop. Just like that. So to save some time, I'm going to do the rest off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've mounted all my teardrops on the ball head pins. So let me show you the next step. We're going to work with the chain, and I'm not going to take it off the spool just yet. I'm just going to put it off to the side. I'm going to open up one of these loops. Slide the end of the chain into it. Let me just do it and then I'll show you. It's kind of hard for me to do it and show you at the same time, but there it is. And now I'm going to close my loop. And now what I want to do is to figure out where I'm going to cut my chain. I'm not going to count all of the lengths. I'm only going to count the ones that are parallel to my mat, and I'm going to count 6, and then I'll cut the 7th link, which is vertical or perpendicular to my mat. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just double check. So I'm going to cut this one right here. And that's my first dangle. Let me open up another one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slide the last link into the loop like that. Close my loop. And this is why I like to use these pliers, because I can get into small spaces like that. Let me just make sure it's closed. Okay. So now I'm going to count 5 of the horizontal links, and I'm going to cut the 6th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to cut this one right here. So I'm cutting the 6th link, which is vertical or perpendicular to my mat. Let me show you one more time. It's the same thing each time, but I'm decreasing the number of links, basically. So I'm going to slide the last link into my loop, like so. Close my loop. And now I'm going to count 4 horizontal links, and I'm going to cut the 5th one, which will be a perpendicular link or vertical. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to cut this one right here. So this is the 5th link from the loop. And that's how you figure out the lengths. The 5 are going to be graduating in length. So the next dangle will have 3 horizontal links, and the last one will have 2 horizontal links. So let me do these 2 off camera and I'll be right back. So there are my 5 dangles. As you can see, they're graduating in length. That's what you want. But when I hang them, I'm not going to hang them in this order. I'm just going to do it randomly. So now we're going to create a beaded component, and here are the beads I'm going to use. I'm going to use a piece of 22 gauge wire, and this color is called Hematite, but it's very bronzy, as you can see. I think it's because of the brand. It's the Beadsmith brand. I know some of the Hematite colors are different depending on the brand. So here it is. It measures about 1.5 inches. I'm going to grab the top with my pliers at about 3/8 of an inch down, bend it, grab the end with my round nose pliers, form a loop, just like that. Let me flatten it. I'm going to slide on this bead, this big one, a spacer bead, and this aquamarine bead, like so. Grab the wire at the top of the bead, leaving a little bit of space. And actually, I'm not going to line up my loops because I want them perpendicular, so I'm just going to bend it like this. Cut off the excess, leaving 3/8 of an inch. Grab the end, form a loop. Make sure the loop is closed and centered. And let me just double check to make sure they're perpendicular. I think they are, but I always check anyway. They're slightly off, as you can see. So now we're going to assemble the whole thing, and here's the link. Here's my 4mm jump ring. Let me open it up. And I'm going to hold it like this so that I can slide the dangles into it. And like I said, I'm not going to do them in any particular order. And boy, the chain keeps wanting to stick to my pliers. It's not that they're magnetized, but I think they become magnetized over time. At least that's what I read. So there's the first one. There's my next one. There's my third one. Fourth. Fifth. And I'm going to shift my pliers a little bit because now I have to slide the link into my jump ring. I'm going to slide it this way because I want the flower to be facing up. Close my jump ring the best way I can. So that part's done. Here's my ear wire hook. I'm going to open up this loop. Slide this into it. Let me open it a little more. There we go. Close the loop. And now I'm going to open up this one. Slide my ear wire hook into it. Make sure I hang it the right way. That looks good. And close it. So these earrings are done. And I think they're super, super cute. I hope you like them as well. Like I said, they're going to be part of another project coming up real soon in the coming weeks. So I want you to come back and check my channel for that project. I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing and mini tutorial. I hope I've given you some ideas. I'd like to go ahead and model these earrings for you so you can see how they look. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.